Hey everybody, today I'm going to talk about the difference between earnest money and due diligence money in North Carolina, because they're two different things. And in order to kind of put in perspective, I'm going to go back 2 years ago prior to COVID, when the market was not so crazy with low inventory and multiple offers on every single property and high due diligence fees and no repairs and all that. So a couple years ago, typical offer would be X price and you would see a 30-day close. And within that 30-day close, you'd see a due diligence period, which is typically 21 days, 3 weeks. So you got 30-day closing, 21-day due diligence period. And within this due diligence period is when you do your inspections, survey, your loan, make sure you get all that done. And what would happen is if you walk, if it's just bad inspection or whatever, if you got out of your contract before your due diligence period, you would get your earnest money back. But if you got out of the contract before your due diligence period, you would lose your due diligence money. So there's typically two different fees. Due diligence fee is non-refundable if you walk before the close date. And then your earnest money, which is refundable to you if you walk before your due diligence date. Now, if you close, if a buyer closes, they get both of the fees back. And that's what the seller wants that too. They don't want to keep any money. They want you to actually close on the property. So before all of this started, the low inventory, a due diligence fee was typically $500 to $1,000, and even $2,000 was crazy. We were like, oh my God, that's too much money. Well, earnest money's always been about 1% of the purchase price. So a $500,000 house would be $5,000 earnest money and then $1,000 due diligence. And then you'd have your inspections and your due diligence period. Everything went great. You would get that $1,000 and $5,000 back at closing as a buyer. Well, if you decided to walk, you had a bad inspection or whatever happened, and you got out of the contract prior to the due diligence date, you would lose that $1,000 due diligence, but you would get back the $5,000. So now what we're seeing, so I don't run out of time, I'm gonna say this really fast. With low inventory and the market moving so fast, buyers are not writing a due diligence period. They're not giving any earnest money, and they're giving super crazy amounts of due diligence fees. So $500,000 house, they're saying, hey, we're not even do a due diligence period. We're still gonna do inspections, but we're gonna give you $20,000 due diligence fee, and because we're gonna buy the house. And that's just in a nutshell how it's going now. I'll do another video on your due diligence fee and why you should not spend that.